Mainu, he's driving forward with it. Holloway. He's screaming. Oh my goodness me. I was about to release one of Sesko, one of Cunha, or Holloway. So Jim Ratcliffe and the Glazers are gone. Hey my people, welcome back to the Brom Squad Gaming channel and welcome back to the Manchester United Tactical Career Mode. Now we are only 5 or 6 episodes into this, but I think it's been a very good career mode and I think you guys have enjoyed the entertainment that I've provided throughout these last few episodes or so. Now we are in the month of January and that means two things. The first thing, we have got a shed load of games to get through. We've got 7 games to get through. But the second thing is, the transfer window is now open and of course we will now be making our first signings for this career mode and hopefully they can help lay a platform of success for the club. I just wanted to run through the schedule before we start doing the transfer business, before I run through the squad and show you who's left, who's still here, who's available and who's not. And to start things off, we have got an away game at Elland Road versus Leeds United, which I am dead set on playing. We're going to enjoy that game. We're going to absolutely batter them, hopefully, before we go away to Burnley. Now, this is a game that I'm probably going to sim. I'm probably going to sim the Burnley away game, and I'm also thinking of simulating the West Bromwich Albion FA Cup game. That is the first FA Cup game of the career mode, I know, but I just think that the two City games, City away from home in the first leg of the Carabao Cup, and City at home in the Premier League, are just a tad bit more important. Now, of course, we could still go out and we will be rotating players in and out between the Burnley game and the West Brom game, so there is a bit of jeopardy that we might be knocked out. It is an L if we do, but I think the squad is good enough. Now, after those two City games, hopefully we get through them in one piece. Of course, there's still the second leg to play in the next episode, but after that, we then go away to the Emirates to face Arsenal. Second place currently in the league. They are, I think, like 10 points behind us. So depending on how the Burnley, Leeds, and City games go, it could only be 1 point. If we lose all 3 of those games and Arsenal win all of their games, it could be just 1 point at that point. 1 point at that point. That doesn't even make a lot of sense. But by the time we play Arsenal, there's a mathematical equation that could mean that if they beat us then, they could go ahead of us, or if we win our games, we'll stay ahead of them. Regardless, we have Arsenal and City in this episode, and then we end off the episode at home to Fulham on deadline day. Again, jam-packed, and if we do, absolutely batter Leeds United 5-0 in the first half, I'll simulate that game, and we will definitely play the Fulham game. That will be obviously the deadline day game. So that's just my thoughts and opinions on the schedule ahead. I do hope you guys enjoy this episode. If you don't mind smashing that like button down below, as well as subscribing to the channel if you are new and you like the content on it. I'm trying to provide entertainment on all levels here, not just tactics, not just outside career mode, but also me playing a career mode and you guys hopefully kicking back and enjoying it for the next 40 to 50 to 60 or so minutes. Now, just looking at the squad before we go ahead and sign our 2 potential players, of course, they might not sign, who knows, but we also know that Ahmad, Mazraoui, and Mbumo are all out for the next couple of weeks. Now, normally what happens is the clubs do give their players time off once the African Cup of Nations is completed, just to give them a bit more time to recover, recuperate, rest up. So for the entire month of January, these 3 very important players will not be of use. So we've got Arsenal away, we've got City away, we've got City at home, we've got Leeds away, we've got Burnley and West Brom and Fulham involved all in there at the same time. This equation is crazy. So they are not available. But as you can also see, the likes of Chido Obi, Diego Leon, Luke Shaw, and co, they are all gone. And our squad was looking hella depleted. So I went ahead and signed a few of the youth players to incorporate into our team for the time being. They will be here for the entirety of, or the remainder of the season, I should say. They're going to be the backup players. They're going to be the reserve players for when, of course, these players are all fit and healthy and back and reincorporated into the team. And then maybe, depending on how well they do, they could get loaned out or they might be sold at the start of next season, depending on how they do. Holloway is the one to watch. He is the kid that's got quite a decent potential on him, and he does have something to prove, and he might be something special in the future, depending on how he develops, of course. He's going to get a few chances here and there. Of course, we are going to try and use the mainstay players, Lenny Yoro, Maguire, Ugarte, Xerxes, and of course the starting 11. Now, for the time being, Mason Mount is starting, Dallo starting on the right, and that is more or less what our team looks like. Not fully healthy just yet. Obviously, we've just played in the last episode. It was Wolves, and we obviously ended up winning, and it was great. It was lovely. It was fantastic. But now, it's the moment you've all been waiting for, signing the damn players. In case you missed the last episode, these are the 2 players that we will be signing: Jimmy Garner and Jayden Oosterwolde, a left back and a CDM. Those are the two positions that I'm fully intent on replacing and improving and upgrading, and again, adding more depth and quality to those positions. Now, realistically wise, Manchester United are very bad at securing multiple deals at the same time. So I'm going to choose one of these players, either Garner or Oosterwolde, and I'm going to complete their signing right this very minute. So they'll be available for potentially the Leeds United game. Then halfway through the January month, halfway through the transfer window, I will then look to negotiate for the other. Now, I think Oosterwolde is probably going to be the player that I do go for off the bat. Let's hop on into the negotiations. Let's try and find ourselves a great deal here. Of course, we only have Patrick Dorgu for that left back position, and with Mazraoui now being officially out because he's of course at AFCON, we do need a fullback that can come in and play minutes, play valuable minutes, because we can't just rely on just Dorgu as well as Diego Dalot. So his value is around 11.5 million. I'm going to go in with a cool, calm 9 mil. There it is. Great deal. Take it or leave it. They want Harry Maguire, and I'm saying no, because we can't afford to really get rid of any players right this very minute. And Maguire, yes, he might still leave on a free at the end of this season, but that's okay. I can deal with his loss at the end of the season. Right now, he is a valuable player that will be getting a lot of game time, and they're asking for 14 million with a 10% add-on. I'll just give you 14 million straight up, and you guys can take it or leave it. Now, another reason as to why I'm going for these sort of players right now is typically in the January transfer window, teams don't really go for major signings. Of course, Van Dijk a few years ago, 75 million. Chelsea a few years ago as well, they spent loads of money. But in terms of Manchester United, we typically don't spend crazy amounts of money. I mean, last season we bought Dorgu for what was like 20 million, and that was our only signing. We typically haven't really been able to go into the January window and buy players. We might do so this year, which would be very cool, but it's not a common occurrence. And to be honest with you, I think that Jayden Oosterwolde as well as Jimmy Garner, they won't be superstar players in this team, but they're going to be very important role players in this team that provide a purpose, provide a need, and most importantly, raise the floor of this team. You improve the floor, you will eventually increase the ceiling levels and overall wise improve the entirety of the team. So 4 years, rotational sort of player. Again, he's going to be rotating with Dorgu as well as Dalot for the time being. But most importantly, again, with his skill sets and what he can provide for us, I'm going to give him 50 grand a week, by the way. But what he can provide for us is he's 6'4", playing as a fullback with loads of pace. So he could also slide over to the centre-back role if needed. But I like the idea of having him in the team because he will be able to play as like not an inverted fullback, but kind of a fullback that stays back and creates that back three structure. So it helps us with our build-up play a lot more. And you'll see we'll be in control of the games a bit better. Jayden Oosterwolde, welcome to Manchester United, good sir. There's the assistant. I don't know what his name is. We should name him Jack. He's saying hello to Jack. Jack's going to sort out his medical. He's riding the bike. He's obviously shattering the records. He's doing his thing. And he's not going to be wearing number 14. Let me just say that. Number 14 is reserved for somebody else. I have somebody else in mind. But number 14 will not be Oosterwolde's number. Also, giving a fullback number 14 is just crazy to me. So we're not going to do that for you, good sir. I've got another number that I might be able to give to you for this season at least. Right. So that number... Now, of course, we can't give away 23. 22 is obviously taken. 21 is not taken, has it? No, because 21 was Anthony. You know what? Oosterwolde is going to wear 21. That makes perfect sense. Now, in terms of what I'm expecting from him, he does have a plus role for the false back. I don't want him as an attacking wing back or as an inverted wing back, but as a fullback, which he's got a plus in already, I think he's going to be fantastic. A versatile sort of fullback, sometimes a defensive fullback. He just offers a lot more than potentially a Patrick Dorgu. He's kind of like a Mazraoui, right? He can play high, he can play wide, he can attack the box, or he can play deeper and just look to sit back and help protect the lead or protect the back line spaces. And I do like that quite a lot. And also, the person who suggested him said he is an incredible sort of player. And I've never used him before in FC, so that does always go a long way in helping me with whether I want to sign the player or not. Okay, so Jayden Oosterwolde. has been signed and he is now on the bench. He's going to be on the bench for the next game or two. Maybe, hopefully, by the City game, the Carabao Cup game, he could be ready to start. But for the time being, Patrick Dorgu, that is his position, and he's going to then compete with Oosterwolde for that starting left back role. And of course, we will also be alternating Dorgu from the left to the right and, you know, rotating Dallo every now and then, because you can't expect Dallo to play every single game. Okay, we've got our first press conference of the new year for the Leeds United game. They're going to ask me about Oosterwolde. I can almost see it. They're going to pressure me to try and start him. He's not going to be starting. They're also asking about Mason Mount, who has come into some fantastic form of late, scoring a couple of goals in the last episode, if I'm not mistaken. And he's obviously filling in for Mbumo as well as Ahmad. And he is going to be a very important player for the next couple of weeks, maybe even until the end of the season. If he plays well for the remainder of the season, it's going to be very difficult for an Mbumo or Ahmad to come straight back into the team. And that's what you want. You want high quality competition, and I'm surprised that they haven't asked me about our new signing. I'm not going to complain. That's less pressure on the young Jayden Oosterwolde. I know he's 24 and he's got some experience and he's approaching his prime, but he's still a young player. We need to factor that in. But anyway, Casemiro is going to be a very important player in this game. He's going to help us assert dominance. Well, if we take a look at how Leeds United currently set up, they set up in a 4-1-4-1 sort of system. A very similar system, you could say, to the one that we were previously playing before we made that tactical shift to a new formation, the 4-2-3-1. Now, they are currently 12th in the Prem, which is a great position for them to be in. But in their last 5 games, they've lost 3, won 1, and drawn the other. So only 1 win, 4 points collected, which is shocking. Shocking. Their tactical presets rests on wing play, so they are going to look to attack the flanks, which this might be a good game for Jayden Oosterwolde to come into. Of course, off the bench, he's not fully fit yet. He's not fully ready to run the entire 90 minutes, but this could be a great game for him to test out his physical abilities on a very tough side. Now, their key defensive players are Anton Stash, Goodmanson, and Roden. A defensive midfielder, a left back, and a centre back. That does make more sense. It's way better than having your goalkeeper being one of your key defensive players. I'll just say that. And 3 of the key attacking players are Daniel James, we know, a former United player. Anton Stash, yet again. Or is it pronounced Stash or Stack? Because I've heard commentators say Stack. I don't know. Anton is a key attacker as well as defender. And also Tanaka, who, if you watched Leeds last year in the championship, you'll know he's an incredible player and he really does help the side tick. So I think he is the key attacking player to really try and monitor. And I would also probably say Pero, who's of course the striker, he is going to be a handful for one of the likes of Lissandro Martinez or a Matthias de Ligt or maybe a Harry Maguire. We might just start Harry Maguire. We might have to rotate. We actually might have to rotate because Matthias de Ligt is not looking too fresh, and Lenny Yoro might need to come in as well. Now, in terms of this midfield, okay, I'm not playing Xerxes here, don't worry. Don't you worry. I'm not playing Bruno there either, but I'm thinking maybe that works. You play Bruno a little bit deeper, you play Ugarte next to him, you have Dorgu, Yoro, Maguire, Dallo, which is great, you have Lamens in goal, you have Bruno in a slightly deeper position looking to help run the game, Ugarte next to him to provide those legs, and then you have your attacking tridents behind the striker in Xerxes, Cunha, and Mount with Sesko. That's not bad at all. Now, of course, we are going to need to make a few tactical tweaks and changes. For the likes of Mason Mount and Cunha and Ahmad and Mbumo, I'm going to always have them as the roaming half wingers because I want them to interchange throughout the course of the game. That is the main thought process behind it, because you have a roaming number 10, but you also want to have the other 2 players also having that fluidity throughout the course of matches. So that would be great. As for Yoro, he's going to switch to a defensive deep lying playmaker. Ball playing defender, deep lying playmaker, ball playing defender, as well as the likes of Harry Maguire will mirror that role. For Diego Dalot, false back. No. I'm thinking more attacking wing back. I want him high, I want him wide. And as for Dorgu, I'm going to have him as a balanced wing back. So he won't be inverting as much. He's going to look to get forward every now and then, help the likes of Matheus Cunha overlap down that left-hand side and add to the attack as much as possible. We're going to have to rely on Ugarte to have the legs and the IQ to read the game accordingly and break up the play. But this could be fun, you know. This could be fun. This is going to be I think this could be a high-scoring game. Alrighty, Ellen Road is rocking. The fans are, of course, up for it. The 2 teams, they've got history, and both sides want to win this game. It's a natural thing for a rivalry like this. It's always tasty, it's always scary. In terms of, like that derby sort of feeling, it's up there with City, it's up there with... No, I can't say Liverpool because Liverpool's like up there. but it's up there with the likes of City, with the likes of Chelsea. I wouldn't even say it's up there with the likes of Arsenal, because that's also probably a tier above. But the boys, they're up for it. We're kind of playing this dual striker tandem. A lot of the media have been speculating Brom's squad is playing a different formation. He switched to the 4-3-3, now he's playing a 4-2-2. Does it work in the Prem? It didn't really work out so well after Mbeumo and Ahmad left. And I'm here to say, guys, we've gotten multiple wins in a row. We're building on the form. We're currently top of the Premier League table. Hated, adored, and never ignored. The best slogan out there in football. And he's running into Sesko. Sesko lays it off perfectly into the likes of Mason Mount. Mason Mount back into Dalot. Sesko, he's looking to make the run. Dalot plays it into Mason Mount, and he's just offside 6 minutes into the game. Great ball movement, a lot of verticality immediately. The players are getting forward, they're getting into space, they're looking to operate effectively, and it's quite nice. Okay, Dalot, he's looking to attack Goodmanson. Goodmanson's whips in a great ball, but Lamens is there to claim it beautifully. Bang. I nearly thought for a second Ugarte was going to do Ugarte sort of things. Xerxes, has he played him onside? Oh, he's still onside. Mateus Cunha is still onside. I'm going to lift it into the central space. Oh my word. Well, there we go. That was almost a great early opportunity. That is a great early opportunity. Played across the face of goal, and we do put the ball in the back of the net. But Mason Mount, for the second time this game, has just... Okay, that's not just straight offside. That is very far offside, mates. Like, oh my goodness me. You gotta hold the line. You gotta read down the line. It's one of my biggest pet peeves in football. And of course, Leeds will be looking to frustrate us. They're going to look to invite as much pressure and then break on us. The likes of Dan James, the likes of Tanaka, they're going to get on the ball and use their speed and use their trickery and try and dictate the pace of play against the run of play, and they've maybe done so right here, right now. And Harry Maguire, he's in the way. Our final ball hasn't been too bad, but the players have been offside. But not there, not now. Diego Dalot cuts it back perfectly. It's blocked away, but into, you know, I can't even speak. Into an open net. Benjamin Sesko, 23-20, finishes. We have a lead. We're calm, we're composed. I'm telling the players on the bench, there's some young players on the bench. This is not how we behave. This is how it's supposed to be. This is Leeds, and we're supposed to batter them. To be fair, that's a great block from Ampadu. It's just so unfortunate that it falls back into the path of Sesko, and he has the time and the reactions to get there first, compose himself, and finish the ball in the back of the net. There we go. So, not a bad first half, but not a good one either. Too many opportunities we've wasted, purely down to the fact that our pass has been a bit too late, the run has been a bit too early. The wavelengths are obviously not in full flow right now, and it makes sense because we're missing key players and certain players are readjusting to new positions. So at halftime, just having a look at the stamina, because that's going to be a very important thing that we need to try and monitor. But Xerxes has been doing a lot of running, and therefore he's very tired. Of course, Bruno Fernandes can just run for days because he is a, what is it? A stallion, a wild horse. He just runs and runs and runs. So we will be monitoring Xerxes. Now, if we have a look at the halftime stats, Leeds have been the dominant side in terms of the possession. 56% possession to our 44. We need a bit more. We need a bit more control. I don't like having just this vertical transition game happening all the time, although it is one of our key attacking weapons that we do use every now and then. Now, in terms of their pass accuracy, it is also slightly higher than ours at 92% compared to 89. They've also had about 20 passes attempted more. So that tells you all you need to know for that first half. We are in the lead, believe it or not. We had a great goal scored by our Slovenian bazooka, and that does give us a slight edge going into the second half. Terrible, terrible Mason, terrible. Oh, Xerxes. Great ball over the top. Oh, Xerxes, mates. That was lovely. That was brilliant. That's why Xerxes is getting his opportunities, because whenever he has played, I know he hasn't had as many games as what he may have wanted to start off the season, but that's why we have a squad. That's why these players are so freaking important, because when they do get their opportunity, they need to take it. Dorgu made a great block there, but it has led to a corner opportunity for Leeds 10 minutes into the second half. They would love to get something off the bat. Longstaff is on for Brendan Aronson. Oh, don't foul in the box, please. I saw Ugarte making moves and I was like, oh no. Uh-oh, Dan James, he's down the right-hand side here. He might look to cross it. He has done so. It's come off Dorgu and it's fallen straight to our player. Great. Now we can look to Mota. And also, Acuna's moved on the inside here, which is fantastic. Mount with a little back heel. Oh, Mount's got it back, though. Mount has got it back. And Mount has lost it yet again. Okay, so we are going to make a few changes. Xerxes is going to come off for Holloway. I've also just realized we don't have a striker on the bench. Because, of course, we are starting Xerxes. And that also means that I'm going to try Holloway out on the right. Move Mount onto the bench for Casemiro. Swap Mainu and Casemiro. And that does leave us with another change that we can make. I'm going to bring off Dorgu for Oosterwolde. Now, we are going to make a slight tweak and variation to it. Because Oosterwolde is more confident as a fullback, a traditional-based fullback, I'm going to have him as a defensive fullback. And then I'm going to do this. Swap Maguire and Euro. Play Euro as a build-up defender. And is going to form a back three of some sort. A bit of a makeshift back three, but a very solid, compact unit that you can use to build down the left or the right or through the middle. Maguire's aerial balls are going to be intense. They're going to be needed because Holloway and Dalot down this right-hand side are going to be available for the switch passes. Going to give the ball into Mason Mount. Mason Mount into... Oh my goodness. A little no-look pass. Mount, he's charging down the full... Oh, god damn it. I was going to say charging down the fullback area. He's charging down the flank. Got him behind. Took the shot on. He is going to come off now. If he had scored there, it would have been incredible. But the young Holloway is coming on for his debut. He's been thrust into the limelight, some might say. Now, Fernandez to whip this one in. Can he find Harry Maguire's head? He can. Maybe. It's been defended incredibly well. Oh, and Oosterwolde gets bullied off the ball. That's not a great look. For his first touch of the ball as a Man United player. Not a great look for him. Another whipped in cross. Lamens claims the aha. Oh, he claims the high ball perfectly. Mainu, he's driving forward with it. Holloway. He's screaming. Oh my goodness me. I was about to release one of Sesko, one of Cunha, or Holloway. Kobe gets absolutely hacked down like a tree in Yellowstone Park. I know that's illegal to do. And Ayo Tanaka with a dirty, dirty play. It was looking really good though. It probably could even be a red card if you ask me. Now Bruno Fernandes, I know it's a bit too straight, but we're going to test the goalkeeper regardless. I've put a good amount of power in there. The wind might take it. Oh my god, the wind took it too far for me. Harry Maguire, he's chasing back late on in this game. Chasing back, and look who's there. Jadon Oosterwolde, he plays it out, gives the ball away. Horrendously, edge the box sort of moments here. We cannot drop these points. We cannot drop these points. Jadon Oosterwolde coming on and looking absolutely disastrous. But he clears the ball, and that gives us the vital 3 points. I know Oosterwolde has looked terrible in this game, and he's only been on for 15 minutes, which is very worrying. However, he hasn't had a pre-season. He's a new signing, new country, new language that he has to kind of learn. I don't know if he can speak English just yet. When we were having our face-to-face meeting, he had a bit of a translator going on there. So we need to let him adjust, and that's exactly why he didn't just start the first game. Dorgu has done a great job, and he'll continue to do a great job while Oosterwolde settles in. So Kobe has knocked on the door. He said, "Boss, my contributions to the team have obviously increased, and I think I deserve higher wages," which does make sense. Now, in real life, Kobe Mainu and United are negotiating a long-term contract. Kobe Mainu wants to play for Man United for a very long time, so we're going to negotiate a new deal for the young man, who has Fulham and Newcastle United interested in him. I understand why you've come to me, good sir. Why would you want to go there? Now, Kobe, my boy, I love you. You love Man United. Not me per se, but you love Man United. And I live and breathe Manchester United. So it's great to see you. Now, how much money do you want to be a rotational player? Perfect. Now, I do like giving players rotational players. I do love giving players the rotational role, not rotational players, because it then means that they're not always fussed if they're not starting game in, game out, which is great. Kobbie Mainoo is a long-term prospect for this entire project, but that doesn't mean he's going to be starting week in, week out. So for the next 4.5 years, potentially, that's what we're going to try and lock him down for. He's going to be a rotational sort of player until he develops, until he grows, and that allows us to potentially in the summer go and sign starting caliber ready-made players for those 2 defensive midfield positions and not have Kobbie Mainoo shouting and screaming and going berserk and saying I have to start game in, game out. So he's currently on 45 grand a week. I'm going to push it up to 70. I'm going to give him a nice little bonus of 210, so triple the weekly wage as your sign-on bonus. 70 grand a week. At 20, that is incredible. That is a great salary. It fits into our salary structure. Let's keep in mind, so Jim, Omar Barada, Wilcox, and all of the boys, they're always worried about the money. The financial status at Man United currently is not that great. So if we can get these wages under control and not pay absurd amounts of money, it's always good. It's always a good thing. Now we've got Kobbie Mainoo locked down for at least the next 4 years and probably even longer. But I don't know if the career mode's going to go for that long. Now Kobbie is very happy that we've given him the new deal. He's over the moon. And that is incredible. I'm going to tell him to show his worth and prove it that he deserves that contract, and he's going to be a long-term superstar cornerstone for my overall Manchester United project. Okay, now on to the business end of things. Burnley are going to be playing a 4-2-3-1. Of course, let's keep in mind that they are going to be at home as well. They currently sit 18th in the Premier League table. Now, the last time we played a team around this area of the table, that was West Ham, who were in 16th, who had won 0 out of their last 5 games. They had picked up 1 point out of their last 5 games, so 1 point out of 15, and we gave them another point, but we were at home. So this is definitely going to be a much harder game to play. They've obviously got a few good players. I do like the look of Hartman. I think he's incredible. Walker, he's got the experience. Marcus Edwards, also a very good player. Fiorentino and Ugochukwu are very good defensive midfielders. So they're going to prove to be a very big handful for our midfield and our attack and our defense to try and deal with. Now, the key attacking player has been highlighted as just Marcus Edwards. There's no key defensive player or anything like that. I hope our scouts have done the good homework that I'm paying them to do. Their tactical preset will be set to wing play. They're going to look to attack down the wide areas on the pitch. The fullbacks, if Oosterwolde comes on, he's going to need to be switched on because he wasn't versus Leeds United. And Dorgu and of course Dallo, they're also going to need to be very much in tune with what the opposition wingers are trying to do. Alright, now this is where things do get spicy. Mason Mount started the last game, not fully fit to start this game. Of course, we've got nobody really on the bench for us. Harry Mass has come back. Oh. He's been sent back. I didn't get a notification to say he's been sent back. Very interesting. I will put him on the bench. That is very... Oh, you know what? Harry Mass, you're going to be used, mate. But I think I'm going to run with this team right here. Holloway is going to get his first start. Dallo and Dorgu as the 2 fullbacks. We've rested Martinez. We've rested De Ligt. Of course, Lamens will always start in the Premier League. And we've got Kobbie Mainoo, if I can get there. Kobbie Mainoo and Casemiro as the 2 in the middle. Bruno Fernandes will be dropping in. Sesko is going to hopefully score a few goals. And Cunha is going to be the dynamic magician that I know he can be. And then we've got some options, some on the bench. Right. Give me the... We were rescued by Joshua Zirkzee coming off the bench for Bruno Fernandes and scoring in the 86th minute. We are still undefeated, by the way. That golden trophy is not the goal, but if we do it, that would be great. Pointers, we've dropped points again when I've simulated another game. Lucas Perez scored Burnley's goal. I don't know if he started for them. He must have. They also missed a penalty. Oh my god. They missed a penalty. They then scored a goal. Thought they were going to win it. And then Josh Zirkzee came in and said, hold my beer. All things considered, I'll take the points. But it's just not a good look, mate. Right. Now, of course, with the transfer window being open, we're going to get offers. We're going to have to decline a few of them. And right now, we're in no real position to accept offers. Kobbie Mainoo, 26.2 million for Atalanta to take him off our books. No, straight up rejection. He's just signed a new 4-year deal or 3-year deal with the club to stay for the long-term future or the long-term project. Harry Maresca. Now, I did not expect him to come back. I thought he was doing quite well at Sheffield Wednesday, but because he has come back, I'm not opposed to keeping him. He is 18 years of age. He's a 70 overall. Maybe keeping him for the remainder of this season as an extra fullback, maybe as a player who can play on the left and the right. So we're going to have to maybe train him up to do so. He could be very useful for us. Also, he's wearing number 14, which does bug me a little bit. So I'm going to decline this move as well. Also, Real Sociedad asking for Harry Maresca is kind of crazy. Harry Maresca actually wears number 41. Now, I have low-key given 41 away already to somebody else. I gave it to Saeed El Basir. So he's going to take 41 back, and Saeed is going to get a new number. He's not going to be wearing the number 9 as a centre back. That is absolutely outrageous. And he's got some interest from Santa Clara. Now, because I did not expect for Harry Maresca to come back, I might not be opposed to maybe getting rid of one or two of these younger players that have been brought into the first team. Maybe not the good ones. Holloway, for example, probably not going to go anywhere, but maybe if we got an option for Monk and somebody wants to buy him or loan him with an option to buy, I might not be opposed to accepting that. Does that make sense? I would happily accept that. It might not be I don't even know what I'm saying sometimes. But anyway, the point is, if a good offer comes in and it's worthy of a sale, then we'll consider it. Now onto the West Brom game. We are going to make several rotations to the starting 11, not to play down to the opposition, but because we do need to rotate and we need to keep important players fit and available for that back-to-back City derby set of games. They're going to be playing a 4-2-3-1. In their last 5 games, they've won just once. They've dropped points on 4 other occasions, losing 2 and drawing the other 2. They've got some good players here. Illing Jr. is great. He is a former Juventus player. He's then gone to Villa. He hasn't done really well at Villa, but he's been loaned out to the Baggies, and I don't really know exactly how he's done this season. I think it's a bit of a mixed bag of results. I've seen certain people say he's okay. I've seen other people say he's really bad, and I've seen other people say he's the next version of Messi. So make of that what you will. Nat Phillips, former Liverpool man. Malumbi and Moat, the brute forces in the midfield with Moat spraying passes around, Malumbi breaking up play and using his physicality. Johnston is their key player by the looks of it as well. He is their key attacking player. See, I do know some ball sometimes. They do tend to play with the kick and rush approach, and their key defense players are Griffiths, Gilchrist, former Chelsea player, and Nat Phillips, former Liverpool player. So this will be interesting. This will be fun, and hopefully the boys that get the opportunity, they do take it with both hands. Open arms, both hands, I guess so. I don't want to get knocked out by West Brom in the first round of us being in the FA Cup. That would just be terrible. It would be terrible, wouldn't it? So, Sesko, you're going to come off the bench. Ugarte, you're going to start. We're going to start No, we're not going to start Harry Maguire. We're going to start Lenny Yoro. Bayendia is going to get a start, and those will be the rotations that we do make. I hope that the CPU do indeed use all 5 subs, because we need these players fit and available for the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. I know the Carabao Cup is a lesser trophy compared to the FA Cup. I do know that. I'm fully aware, but I want to win that. Can we win this game and then progress to the Carabao Cup semi-finals? Please, we do. Bruno Fernandes, 84th minute, screamer. I can just see it. Pitched up on the edge of the box, collects it perfectly, little pirouette turn, faces the goal, low backlift, bang, top corner, Griffiths, nowhere to be seen. Now, what's interesting is we are going behind. Oh, God. We have an injury to Lenny Yoro. That is not good, guys. That is not good. The original plan I had of potentially selling 1 or 2 youth academy players because we may have brought too many up, that is now foiled. Lenny Yoro is now injured. I don't know how bad the injury is, but we're going to have to see. But what I was going to say was we have this bad habit of conceding first and then having to do a lot of hard, heavy lifting and trying to get back into the game. Mount got the goal to tie the game up at 1-1, and Bruno Fernandes obviously won the game, obviously with my incredible narration of how he scored his goal. We had 56% possession. We had 5 shots, 5 chances, scored 2 goals. They had 44%, 2 shots, 2 chances, and scored once. The Lenny Yoro injury is not as bad as what we had feared. It's a bruised leg, and he will be out for the next 2 weeks. That does mean probably out until the end of the month, probably at this point. So he's going to miss the Fulham game, he's going to miss both City games, and he's definitely going to miss the Arsenal game, which is fine. I can deal with that. I thought maybe an ACL, broken foot, bashed leg, who knows? This is probably the best possible, the best possible outcome is he doesn't get injured. But if he does get injured, we'll take a 2-week off sort of break. Oh my goodness. We have a new ownership. Oh my God. So Jim Ratcliffe and the Glazers are gone. Is it Qatar? Do we have a Sheikh Daddy who's going to give me the oil money? I need to know these very important things. The new owners have lofty ambitions and are excited to start working with you, your staff, and the team. Okay, so my job's safe. I'm not going anywhere. I've done a great job. I'm putting this team in first place. I'm in the next round of the FA Cup. I'm doing as well as I can. I'm in the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. I'm on the verge of a trophy, so you best be happy to work with me. I don't know who the new ownership is though, so we'll make do. Every owner has their own idea of the right way to build success. Times are changing at Manchester United. Wow. So I do think we might be getting 1 or 2 little pop-ups over the next couple of weeks, maybe looking for something different, but I'm excited. It's a new leaf we're turning over, although we were really happy on our previous leaf. So yeah, now I do understand through the little vines that Omar Barada is going to be keeping his job, and so will Jason Wilcox. The structure above us is still going to be somewhat intact. So Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos did a great job with that, but this new ownership, they might look to change a few things up, and maybe we might not have Barada or Wilcox advising us in the future, maybe. But for the time being, they're still going to be here. So for the press conference, the first question is, how is Bruno Fernandes going to potentially try and neutralize Erling Haaland and the Man City midfield? Well, we're going to encourage Bruno. He is our most important and vital player, especially right now with no Mbumo, no Ahmad, no Mazraoui. More so Ahmad and Mbumo in the attack at least. And Bruno is going to be a key player in trying to create those chances for the strikers, trying to create those opportunities for a Mateus Cunha or a Holloway who might get an opportunity here in the semi-finals. Patrick Dorgu has also done very well this season, but we have brought in competition to try and push him, try and get him to level up even more, try and get him to that very best version of himself. Now, as for Kobbie Mainoo, I've been very, very happy with Kobbie Mainoo. There was one game which happened in the last episode where I was baffled. It was versus Bournemouth. They targeted him. He was overrun, overworked, and he lost the ball a couple of times. But other than that, I've been so happy with what Kobbie Mainoo has done this season. Now, as for City, they will be playing a 4-3-3. They are undefeated in their last 5 games, winning 3 and drawing just twice. Their tactical presets revolves around possession. We know that Pep Ball does have some of that involved in it. Not so much these days, but we'll just go with it for the storyline. Pep has reverted back into his super tiki-taka style of play. Reinders and Rodrigo are the key defensive players. So that midfield, they're going to either be very aggressive with their press, or they're going to try and lock down those central areas. So maybe us playing around that and playing into the flank regions might help us bypass their defensive rotations. Now, the key attacking players are Rodri, and Doku. Now, Doku has been in some sensational form this season IRL in terms of his creative abilities, and he did absolutely cook Connor Bradley alive the other day, which was hilarious to see, by the way. So he's going to be a key outlet, and I would also imagine undoubtedly Foden and Haaland will definitely be the key attacking players alongside Doku. I know they're not highlighted, but we all know that those 2 players are going to try and cook me alive. Now, John Stones playing as a right back, I would encourage. I know he has played there before. I know they won the treble with John Stones playing as a centre back / right back and inverting into midfield and doing his thing. But Mateus Cunha is playing on that side. So I really do hope John Stones does continue to play there. But make of that what you will. Our team right now doesn't look at that peak condition, and I won't lie, it's not great. But Harry Maas is going to come in and replace the likes of Lenny Yoro, who's been injured. The back 2 of De Ligt and Martinez, I'm going to leave them in because we definitely do need them. Kobbie Mainoo, I kind of want to replace Kobbie, but I also know that I don't want to start Ugarte, who also, if we're talking about fitness purposes, he's not in any better shape or form, and I'd rather go with the better player that's fitted to the system than somebody else. Apart from Lenny Yoro switching out to the reserves, Osterwald switching in as that left-sided centre-back option with Amass as the full-back option, we're not going to make any other changes. Tactically wise, this is where the changes do come in. Dalot will be set to a defensive fullback alongside Patrick Dorgu. Defend. We need you to defend. We need you to be not so aggressive, Martinez. That would be great. Build up is fine because we just can't afford to be exposed. The cold, harsh, honest truth. Can't afford you to be exposed. We're going to be playing 2 defensive holding midfielders, Mainoo and Casemiro. They will look to get forward every now and then, but I need them holding down that back line. Look at that. That's a back 6 effectively. I know you might think you're being a coward, but we've got defend with 6, attack with 4. We're away to City. Come on. Like, be reasonable here, guys. Be reasonable. Very excited, and I hope you also have noticed that I have changed the boots. I've obviously used the newer boots that have been implemented into the game with the various different updates, so, you know, I'm keeping things stylish here. on the United front. Oh, great ball into Cunha. Cunha forces a great save out of... Is that Donnarumma? Yeah, it must be Donnarumma. Great ball into Bruno. Bruno plays a great ball into Sesko, who is being very well marked by Kusanov, who's got loads of pace in the back line. So we need to watch out for that too. We can't just make these adventurous, you know, pacey runs in behind now, which is probably smart of Pep. Probably smart. However, we've got Matheus Cunha, whips in a great ball to the back post, and 6'5" Italian goalkeeper. He's right there to claim it. Who would have thought? Uh-oh. Oh, look at that from Dorgu. That's brilliant. That is absolutely incredible from Patrick Dorgu. Back to Lamens, and we're just going to look to play it through the lines now as we get this ball higher up the pitch. Move the ball, move the ball, move the ball, baby! Good ball into Sesko. Sesko takes a great touch, fires it straight at the goalkeeper, and that's an incredible... I mean, it probably wasn't straight at the goalkeeper, but that is an insane save. Great bit of movement. I can't fault him too much. Uh-oh. Bernardo Silva has closed down Casemiro. Now that is another thing that we need to be a bit wary of. Can Casemiro still run the midfield? Yes, I think he can. Good ball. Great ball. Great ball yet again. Cunha, he's in some space here. Cunha takes it past the... Oh, takes it past the back line, and he bangs into the back of the net. Donnarumma made the first save. It was a very good save. Donnarumma claimed the aerial threat with the cross. That was a great aerial threat claim. Donnarumma couldn't stop that, though, because this man was a bit of a slow start. And Boomer was scoring goals. Sesko was scoring goals. Cunha wasn't really super involved. This damn frickin' replay. But Cunha wasn't really involved. And now, it's the thick of the season. The games are coming thick and fast. That's what I was trying to say, not just the thick of the season. And Cunha is showing his experience, showing his leadership, showing why he's a world-class player, and he's stepping up. When the team needs him, he is stepping up. Great ball. That is an outrageously good ball. There we go. That's what you want from Matthias de Ligt. Little ball back into Lamens, and we're going to be calm and composed with it. Cobby. And that's going to be half time. Okay. Calm and composed, a solid back six. That's what it's been so difficult for City to try and bypass. I don't care about the possession. I don't care about the amount of shots. Although it's been a slow day at the office for Big Earl. He hasn't had many touches. He hasn't had much shot opportunities. He hasn't had much success in and around our defensive areas. Their attacking areas, our defensive areas. Just monitoring the stamina. And I will be doing more of this, especially with the limited amounts of players that we do have for the squad. So Mount, Mainu, and potentially the two centre backs, maybe even Casemiro, to be fair, they might be targets to be replaced in the second half. As for the match facts, now I've just said I'm not too perturbed when it comes to, I don't care about the possession, but it's 50-50. I'm locked in, people. I'm absolutely locked in. They've had 0 shots. This is a defensive juggernaut that we've constructed here in terms of the tactics. Erling Haaland, Man City, who have Foden, Doku, Rodri, Reinders, and also Bernardo Silva is also starting, which is arguably their best possible lineup, if you ask me. They have mounted 0 shots. Lamens has been cool, calm, and collected, controlled, and everything. They've had 5 more passes attempted than us. They've got a slightly higher pass accuracy. We've put in more tackles. We've worked harder because they've only put in 1. So, into the second half, I don't think it will be as comfortable, but I'm hoping it is. Patrick Dorgu, he's looking to take on Foden. Foden's gone for the inside pass, but look who's there, Patrick Dorgu. And we can look to Mota. Oh, Bruno's played in Sesko. In on goal. Kusanov. Kusanov did well there. Kusanov did well. And I feel like I did botch the opportunity to maybe take on the goalkeeper. Oh, Casemiro. He tried the through ball. It didn't come off. But he's trying the lofted attempt. Oh my days! Sesko with a great connection. And it was an almost opportunity. A great cross from Casemiro. You know, Unk still got it. Anka still got it. Damn. They are chomping at the bits here. Dallo, he's flown forward. He's looking to whip it into a dangerous area and has cleared away a hasty clearance back into Mainu. Mainu, he's looking for that ball into Cunha. Low-driven shot, perfectly executed. Mainu gets an assist. He's celebrating that new contract. Cunha, like I said, he's on fire. We need to assess the squad to see what the stamina is looking like. But that little bit of control that we had, that was outrageous. Bombing on fullback, every now and then we allowed Dallo to get forward, and it just overloaded them, and they weren't expecting that because the entire time Dallo has stayed back. This time, we overloaded them, we caught them off guard, we opened up a lot of space in the central areas because we overloaded that wide right space, and that allowed Cunha to have that pocket of space to attack, and he did so perfectly. Mason Mount, Kobbie Mainoo, they've been great in this game. Really, truly, utterly impressive. Ugarte is coming on. I know, we won't talk too much about it. Mount is going to come off. For who though? Oosterwolde. You might be thinking, are you crazy? And I'm here to tell you, no, I'm not. I'm just slightly unwell. No, I'm going to play Dorgu there. Dorgu is just a makeshift whatever I want him to be at this point. But I think that will be that. Maybe bring on Harry Maguire? Yep. So those are going to be the changes. I don't like Harry Maguire being the left-sided centre-back, especially in a situation like this. So De Ligt will be that left-sided defender. Next to Oosterwolde, he's going to help mentor him and make sure that he is okay. So those are going to be our changes. I don't know how many changes that is, but those are our changes. Oosterwolde, I need you to be a lot better than what you were versus Leeds. Please. There we go, boys. Calm and composed. 21 at the back. Okay, Oosterwolde does look and feel a lot better than what he did versus Leeds. Great little ball from Bruno into Matheus Cunha. We know that we've got a juggernaut in the air. It's 3. It's 3-0, and we still have a whole second half to play. Now that is obviously in the next episode. But that is how things are done. Cunha with a goal. No, Cunha with 2 goals and an assist. Sesko with a great hit. I mean, Kusanov, what are you doing? Ruben Diaz, what are you doing? But Sesko, incredible positioning. Donnarumma maybe should do better, but it's coming in at pace, so I can't really blame him. Foden has gotten away from the defender. Oh, and Ugarte, for the first time ever, I feel like he's really contributed some successful movements to the team. Great defensive tackle there. Don't get drawn out of your natural positioning here. Don't get drawn out of your natural positioning. Don't chase the ball. Let the ball come to you. There we go. I don't care about the possession, especially when you're away at City. Like, what is that? Okay, so for the last 20 minutes or so of that game, it was literally just us looking to see out the last 20 minutes of the game, not concede, and give us a great 3-0 platform to go into the second leg, which will be at Old Trafford, and have a great advantage to potentially get to the final. So City have been battered and splattered at the Etihad, sorry, there was barely any crowd noise going, so I thought we were playing in COVID times for a minute. But it was a great game. Sesko, incredible. Cunha, perfect. And of course, Bruno Fernandes leading by example, creating, distributing, and doing everything. So, the next City game, I mean, I feel like I've just said all this stuff, but they will be playing a 4-3-3. They may look to tweak and change a few things. Gvardiol starting as a left back, that could be interesting. I think he did start as the left back in the previous game. Aït-Nouri might look to replace him and come in. And John Stones played as a centre back and not a right back, which I was quite disappointed with, but we still splattered them 4-0. Now, of course, they will be playing a possession-based brand of football, but their key attacking players has definitely changed. Bernardo Silva is now added to that equation, along with Gvardiol for the defensive players. And we've also seen that Rodrigo is no longer considered a key defensive player because Matheus Nunes is now a key defensive player. So that is very interesting to see, and we might look to just tweak a few things yet again. Now, as you can see here, some of these players are not fully fit and ready and available, which is okay. It's all right. We're not blaming anybody for anything. I am going to be starting Oosterwolde. That is correct. You heard me the first time. That is right. He's going to get his first start for Manchester United. There will be a few tactical tweaks. That is going to be our only change to the 11. He is going to be set to a fullback as a defensive fullback. So when we defend, he is going to be there. And that is going to free up Diego Dalot to be a bit more attacking and be a bit more assertive down that right-hand side. We're going to look to overload the right-hand side with Mason Mount. Now, Mount is not fully fit in terms of the stamina, but that's okay because we will then make changes at halftime or whenever we need to make the according changes. Does that make sense? The according changes? I don't know. Whenever we need to make those changes, we will make them. Whoa, 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 whoa. When did City get their 4th kit? When has City played it? I haven't seen City playing this kit. So, firstly, can I just say, that kit is very cool. That kit is very, very cool. It's so much better than whatever the fuck this is. Also, nice kits. Yeah. But this green kit, though, how come United don't get a 4th kit? We get our standard 3 kits. City, they always get four kits. What is this? But they are going to be playing in blue because it's the Manchester derby. But that's a very cool kit. I thought I'd just add that bit in there. Okay, so we battered City the other night, a couple of days ago. We now have them at home, and I'm very, very sure that Pep Guardiola has changed countless things. He's had sleepless nights thinking, how is he going to get the best of this United team? Which we have also tweaked a few things, so it's not exactly the same approach, Pep Guardiola. Good ball over the top, nice, great long ball. Oh, Mateus Nunes. Could he get stuck? Oh my days, that was a great cross into the box. There we go. Oh my god, Oosterwolde, you can't make the tackle, intercept the play, and then boots it out for a throw. I mean, I know it's Pep and he doesn't do the whole long throw sort of ish, but you've just given them back possession in a dangerous area. Full Foden, he's looking to dribble past his man. Oosterwolde, he's done a great job there. Just don't... Okay, well, Lamens is there. We never fear the high aerial balls anymore because we have Senna Lamens. There we go. We're looking for it. We're looking for it. Bang. Bang. Oh, we've got the return pass. We've got the return pass. Driven low and hard, but again, Donnarumma is there to make a save. He did make a very similar save, although I'd argue the save the other night that he made off the bat was a lot better. Mounts. He's made the run. Mason Mounts. He's on the ball. He's got compatriots. Oh. Manchester United are 1-0 up versus City yet again. Look at this. This is incredible. Calm as you like. Touch, pass, bang. Dalot. He's been bypassed and Gvardiol is looking to attack. Haaland was making the near post run, which was kind of crazy. Oh my. Bruno plays it straight into Sesko. Is he the best striker in the world? Some might argue that, but I think Erling Haaland who? Benjamin Sesko, 25 goals in 22 games. He could shatter Erling Haaland's Premier League record in terms of the amount of goals. But that whole breakdown from City is just us pressing them high, making them feel a bit uneasy with their build-up approach. Bruno Fernandes intercepts the ball again. The shit. The absolute... the replays are just getting to my head here. But... we pressed them high, we made them uncomfortable, we forced them into not so easy opportunities to pass out from the back. Bruno Fernandes, he pounces on the mistake, he gets the ball through to Sesko, and Sesko tucks it home for a second. And going into half-time, that is a brilliant little buffer to have between us and City, who are going to come out and swing for the hills in the second half. Now, I do think that I might have Pep Guardiola's number here, because we've got 56% possession. We have been dominant. Very, very dominant. We've had more passes than them, two attempted passes more than them. We have a higher passing accuracy. Of course, we did intercept that pass just before half time and score a goal from it. And we've had 4 shots to their 0. Now, people might be thinking, well, the game isn't that good because the players don't attack that much. No, the game does have a more improved aggression when it comes to the attack and the amount of shots. Plus, I am playing with sliders. Plus, you've also seen me concede goals and have the opposition and the CPU shoot on target. So it is quite literally Martinez, if you can see this, Martinez and Matthijs de Ligt doing a great job of marshalling the backline and keeping the opposition, as in Manchester City, at bay in that half and in the first game as well. I mean, Harry Maguire did a great job in that game. There we go. Bruno. Great little ball around. Oh, Kobe Mainu. Oh my days. He got fingertips down low and hard and he just put it around the post. Doku is coming off. Their danger man. He's coming off for Omar Marmoush. Things are not looking that peachy. Now I am going to select Mason Mount to take the corner. Now Mason Mount should actually have improved stats for taking corners, because I personally believe that he is a better corner kick taker than Bruno. He just gets a bit more aerial whip on the passes and the balls, and it just makes more sense in my head. Back into Cobby. Cobby, he's looking to take on Guardiola. Yeah, that was bad. City are absolutely shitting the bed right now. They cannot get out of their own half. We are playing some incredible, fluid, attacking football. Cunha this time finds a little pass inside. He finds a little pass inside. Lays it off. Kobbie Mainoo, and it's again another great save. Now, unfortunately, we have been ascending in this game, but we do need to make several changes. Mount will be one of them. Holloway is going to come on. We are going to take off the likes of Kobbie, who has done, this has been one of his best games for me in this career mode. He's been outrageously good, and so has Casemiro, to be honest. Now, Oosterwolde, by the way, superb. This role for him, this sort of back three makeshift, sometimes get forward sort of role, I might look to change him to a versatile fullback, because I might want him getting forward just a little bit more. But this sort of role for him, I think, is ideal. And we're now going to be seeing the best possible version of what he might be able to become. And to be fair, it's a massive test versus City, and he's passing it so far. Let me not speak too soon, but so far he's doing very well. So those are going to be the changes. We've got Maguire coming on. We've got Bruno dropping deeper. We've got Ugarte coming on. Xerxes and the youngster Holloway. Big call, but I have faith in him. I don't know why. He's got a magnetic first touch too, which I've just realized. But I think he's got a bit about him to maybe succeed here at this club. Baradio, Bruno Fernandes set to take the corner. Can he land it on Maguire's head? It's gone too far to the back post, but Oosterwolde's there. Wins the header. Oh my word! Oosterwolde could have had a great assist. But again, Donnarumma is there, and Donnarumma, by the way, has kept City in both games with massive saves. It could be 5 in that first game. It could be even more in this one, because the Old Trafford crowd, they want more. Into the young Holloway, who's going to look to run at this very slow City defense. Great ball around the corner. Oh my god. Oh! The youngster. It could have been amazing. Imagine your first goal, your very first goal is in the Manchester derby. Ooh, that would be amazing. Kobbie Mainoo. He forced a great save there. I mean, look at that. 6 saves. This could be a massive scoreline if it wasn't for Donnarumma. Now, okay, that's more like it. Oh. But we have constructed attacks from the back. We have laid in passes. We've defended incredibly well. And we have controlled everything from minute 1 through to minute 92. Plus a few extra minutes on top of that. We've won the game 2-0. Pep Guardiola, no scratches on his forehead this time, which is great for him. Big up the mental health. But he's been beaten again, and twice in the span of like a week. By yours truly. Am I not a tactical genius or what? We have got a massive offer from Liverpool Football Club for Mazraoui, and immediately decline, reject, don't communicate. What are you doing? Why would I sell you one of my favorite players, firstly, one of my best players, secondly, and one of my players just in general, thirdly? Like, that just doesn't make sense. However, we are going to be looking to make a move for a player that is currently residing in Liverpool. And that is Jimmy Garner, former United player. Now, the quoted from what the scouts have suggested is 13.2 to 16.5. David Moyes and his Everton side are sitting rock bottom. Looking to bring in Jimmy Garner right now does make some sense in some timelines, and it doesn't make some sense in other timelines, because typically you wouldn't want to lose one of your best players, but at the same time some of the best players might not want to be fighting a relegation battle, and bro is going from 20th to 1st. Like, that is a crazy golden lottery sort of ticket. But we're going to negotiate with Moisey for Jimmy. There's also this thing of a potential buyback clause that I've just been made aware of. Jimmy Garner does have a buyback clause that could possibly be triggered by Manchester United. So do we trigger that, or do we try and negotiate a fair price deal? Now, the fee that I'm hearing is for that initial buyback clause that we put into the contract all those years ago, 3 or 4 years ago at this point. I think it was around 17 to 18 million. We're going to offer just a straight up 12 million, take it or leave it. They want Mason Mount. Are you crazy? I'm not giving you Mason Mount. I'll give you 10 million or 10.69 million and we'll go from there. They want 16.5, which is still below the buy clause. We're going to accept that. We're going to accept that. We're going to proceed with the deal. Jimmy Garner, or James Garner, I should say. I keep calling him Jimmy. That is, he is Jimmy. James Garner signing for United for a second time. He is going to be a sporadic first team player. He wants rotation. That does make sense. Just like with Kobbie Mainoo, he will be a key player when it comes to rotating, developing, and growing, and he will definitely get opportunities. He definitely will. It also means that I don't always have to just use Ugarte. I can have a bit more technical flair in my midfield. Plus, Garner has also played as a fullback from time to time, so I now don't necessarily always have to rely on having a Harrier Mass on the bench, or if Dorgu, Dallo, or Mazraoui, or potentially Oosterwolde are all fit, because he does provide us with an extra option to maybe consider for those wider defensive roles, which is great. He's currently on 28 grand or 28.5 grand a week. We're going to bump him up to 50, and we're going to give him a nice little boost of triple that as a sign-on bonus. I know he said double, but he should accept that. Of course, he loves Man United, youth academy prospects and everything, but he's coming back to the club because you guys in the comment section said that is the best bet, and I'm so excited to have him here, to be honest. Now, the next possible thing that comes into play is, I'm pretty sure before he left United, his squad number was 37, which, for those who have been living under a rock, that is Kobbie Mainoo's number. So, do I give him 36? Do I give him Scott McTominay's old number? Or do I give him a brand new number? Okay, well, he's going to wear 14. No, he's not going to wear 14, because 14 is reserved for somebody else next season. Jimmy Garner will get a new number. Okay, so in terms of his new number, what are the numbers available? I mean, we could give him 12. I think not. We could give him 14. I still think not. 17. I do like 17. I mean, I know 17 traditionally for United has normally been given to a winger, Garnacho, Nani, but it's also kind of been used and abused. I mean, Daley Blind was a CDM, very similar to the likes of Jimmy Garner, but he was a CDM and a centre back, and he also wore 17. So there is that. There's 20, which was recently vacated by Diego Dallo. That could also be an option. 23, which was recently, quite literally recently given up by Luke Shaw, so that number is somewhat occupied for the season. 24 is still taken technically by Onana. 25 is by Ugarte. 26, 27, 28, 29. I am thinking 32. Do we give him 32? Or we could just give him 36, because obviously Kobbie Mainoo is 37. We could give him 36. Or again, I do like giving him 17, you know. But what if we sign somebody who's a winger and I want to give them 17? Okay, I'm not gonna give him 17. Guys, I know this is such a petty thing. Like, oh, it's just a number. Just give him a number. I'm gonna give him 32. But for me, numbers count. They matter to me. They very much matter to me. A player squad number matters to me so much, to the point where if I see, for instance, Saliba at Arsenal wears number 2 and he's a centre back. Now I know there are countless centre backs that have worn the number 2, but in my head, number 2 is a right back's number. Whenever I see it on Saliba, I get aggro. I get mad. And the same can be said for Victor fucking Lindelof for 8 years that he was at Man United. But he was a centre back that sometimes played as a full back and a CDM, sadly, and he wore number 2. But he was a predominant centre back, and that gave me a rash. That's how bad it was. So yeah, numbers matter to me, people. First versus third. I didn't actually realize that Arsenal had dropped even more points and they've now fallen down the table. Of course, we are playing at the Emirates. The last time we played there, we won 2-0, and that was in the Carabao Cup. Basically, in this Carabao Cup run, we've had Arsenal, Tottenham, and now City in the semi-finals, and it's looking likely that we will get, I'm not going to say it, that's a surprise for the next few episodes, but we will get another big team in the final, especially with how that first leg went for them. Anyways, we're talking about Arsenal in the Premier League right now. Out of their last 5 games, they are undefeated. 3 wins, 2 draws. It's been a win, a draw, a win, a draw, and a win. Now, their key players to look at are Gabriel, Hincapié, and Declan Rice as the defensive options. The key attacking players are Saka, Odegaard, and Martinelli. Okay, bro. Damn. Fine. Yeah, I'm not scared about Martinelli. Saka, maybe. Odegaard, meh. But Martinelli, brother, put the gun down at this point. Anyways, they will be playing a possession-based brand of football, very similar to what Pep Guardiola has tried to do to us, and we saw how that worked out. I'm just saying we saw how that worked out. So they are going to look to maintain possession, press us high, and work the ball through the lines in between the tight spaces and try and get at our back line as much as possible. They also forget that they have Gyökeres up front, who has the first touch of a baby elephant. There is that too, guys, but we are going to make a few tactical switches and changes ourselves. I might start Oosterwolde again because he was very good. He was very, very good. We are largely a very fit team right now. Casemiro, Mainu, not super fit, but we are largely a somewhat fit team. Monk will now drop out, and Garner's now going to be on the bench. Oosterwolde, I was so impressed. He's also gone up by 1. No, Dorgu's gone up by 1. So Dorgu is playing very well, and Lenny Yoro, he's not fully fit to make the bench just yet. So we are going to keep the likes of Harry Mass there. Firstly, the bench looks a lot better. It looks a lot healthier, and that's not even including the likes of Mbumo. Is it pronounced Mbumo? Mbemo? I do like the sound of Mbemo, but I naturally just call him Mbumo. It also sounds nice when he like smacks a ball and says Mbumo. Bit of a sidetrack there. Yeah, this is going to be our team for the Arsenal game, and that's not even including the idea of adding in Mbumo, adding in Ahmad, and bringing back Mazraoui as well, who are all rested up from their African Cup of Nations. Now, I don't know who's won that, so we will have to see. We will have to find out. But hopefully it was one of our boys, you know. I would love it for a Cameroon or maybe a Ivory Coast or maybe even the host nation, Morocco. I would love it. Absolutely love it. Let me know down below, IRL, who would you like to see win the African Cup of Nations? I know Nigeria, they didn't make the World Cup the other day. And Ghana made the World Cup, but they didn't make AFCON. So Ghana can't be considered for AFCON, but they might be in the dark horse category for the World Cup. But Nigeria, they might have a point to prove, so they might win it, you know. Anyways, Diego Dallo, an attacking wingback. That's great. That's amazing. And we're going to leave everything else as is. Martinez, maybe not as aggressive. Build up. Build up for Martinez. Build up for Lamens. Roaming for Mainu. Holding for Casemiro. Roaming for Bruno. And then half wingers for Mount, Cunha, and so on. The Arsenal boys are getting ready. Look at their kits. I do love these intro scenes. These intro scenes are very nice. I can't fault EA for introducing them into the game like a couple of years ago. I just wish that there were more. Anyways, we kick things off here. We're in the black kits, our beautiful black kits. I love our black kits. This is one of my favorite kits over like the last 10 years. Little layoff into Cobby. Cobby gets around. Gabriel! Oh my god! Whoo! Damn, boy. Also, they need to fix my jacket, bro. Like, it's been 2 months now, and I still have this ugly ass jacket with the holes in that my white shirt is still sticking through. Like, I'm getting paid 61 grand per week. What is that? That's what, 400? No, I lied. That's 244,000 pounds per month. You mean to tell me I can't afford a better jacket? Little ball into Cunha. Back into Casemiro. Lovely return ball. Cunha. Across the face of goal. And look who's there to clear it. I think that was Gabriel. Look at the Arsenal fans. Arsenal. 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 They don't even pronounce the A. They just say Arsenal. Okay. Bruno whips this one in. Oh, it's to the back post. You know! Mason. Oh. He's looked for the return ball. He's gone for a rangy strike. I had to because I was being closed down by Zubimendi. I was. So, rather test the goalkeeper with a maybe effort than get tackled and not test him at all. Bruno, he's carrying it. Great little dink pass. We're looking for that ball to the back stick. Mason Mounts. Oh my god, David Raya. You should hang your head in shame. Great ball to the back stick. Takes a touch. A bit of a messy touch, but takes the touch. Composes himself, does strike it straight at the goalkeeper. You would expect the goalkeeper, to be fair, it was struck with power, but you would expect the goalkeeper to tip it over the crossbar or wide of the post. That didn't happen. David Raya, he tried to control it, ends up spilling it, and it loops into his net. That's a great strike. I mean, that's weak wrists. That's what that is. You got to hit the gym, mates. And at halftime, well, I mean, that goal was quite literally scored on the cusp of halftime, which does give us the advantage. It does change my team talk at the break. I mean, a slow day at the office for Gyökeres. Who would have thought? Who could have guessed? A guy with a terrible first touch trying to get in the game, in a game that needs technical, pure quality. Who would have thought that he would be very much uninvolved? But anyways, we head into the break, 1-0 up. Great. Now I'm just monitoring the deep midfield situation. Mainu and Casemiro, they have been running a lot. Mainu more so than Casemiro, so they might have to come off. But you know what? I'm not too worried because we've got Jimmy Garner on the bench, and now we also have, okay, we've always had Ugarte, but now we have Jimmy Garner, so I'm not too worried about that. And Mason Mount, who also does have stamina issues, he's not looking too bad, to be fair, but he will naturally look to be replaced at some point. As for the possession stats, the possession merchants have been in the comment section of late. They've been saying, bro doesn't play good football. When I say the comment section, I mean, you know, Twitter. I'm making these situations up in my head. I hope you guys know that. He doesn't play good football. What is this? We want Pep Guardiola football. We want the most perfect situations ever. And the reality is that is never going to happen. Even Pep Guardiola concedes possession at the Emirates sometimes and plays a back five. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? The tacticos on Twitter, they get done in week out, and it's hilarious to look at. However, we've got 55% possession at the Emirates. We've had 51 attempted passes. They've had 56. Our pass accuracy is just slightly lower than theirs at 96 and 92 respectively. But we've put in more tackles, and we've got ourselves a goal. Please, gents, sit back here a little bit. Compress, combine, constrict, limit, stop. Oh no, oh no, oh no, Lord, god damn. At least it wasn't Martinelli, because obviously Trossard has started over Martinelli. If that had been Martinelli after me cooking him to start off the game, or just before the game, yeah, end of the career mode at this point. But that's such a good goal. That is an incredible goal. And that people is with the same settings as the City game. I was just more locked in for the City game apparently. I know that Arsenal would absolutely love it if they beat us, because their fans have been shitting the bed when it comes to us potentially doing the unthinkable, going invincible. Ooh, Gyökeres scored against me. He's got 17 goals and 23 appearances, by the way. That is really good. That's a good return. But you can see how much this means to the Arsenal fans. Beating Man United, who are unbeaten this season, that would be, the hub would be very active. But that's a great finish. Just couldn't get their lemons. We are going to make a couple of changes, by the way. Don't really want to bring off Kobbie. I'm going to leave Kobbie Mainoo on. I'm going to bring on the likes of Jimmy Garner for his debut. Mason Mount, who did score his goal, is going to come off. Bruno switching out to the right-hand side. Patrick Dorgu is going to come on for Oosterwolde. We are going to make a couple of changes to the approach. Versatile fullback? I think not. Wing back? Yes, please. We're also going to swap you to a wing back as well, good sir. So we're going to have a bit of a balance between the left and the right hand side on the pitch. As for Jimmy Garner, we're also going to swap him to, oh, that's interesting. Well, he will be trained up to be a deep lying playmaker regardless, but we're going to have this roaming sort of role. Now it's going to create a lot of chaos and a lot of fluidity, and that's exactly what we want. Now also I need to swap him to defend, because if you've got so much rotation happening here, it does open up a bit more holes, and you need your back line very much locked in. Anyways, those are going to be the changes to try and get back in this game. 63 minutes gone by, Arsenal have edged themselves in front. Oh, Sesko. Oh, it was deflected. Okay, I'm getting amped for this now. They are suggesting Ugarte on for Kobbie Mainoo. No, not yet, good sir. Dorgu, who's come short for it. He's laid it. What the hell? I was looking to lay it off to Bruno Fernandes. Jimmy Garner doing incredibly well there. Jimmy Garner finds a great ball into Cunha. Back into Xerxes. Xerxes lays it off to Mainoo. Mainoo can't shield the ball and protect it in the box, mate. Jesus. Oh, Bruno almost. That combination play. Oh, I'm so locked in right now. I need to score a goal. The Arsenal defense is crazy. Like, the Arsenal defense is really good. Dallo make that run. Okay, we... Oh! De Ligt squares it! Let's go! I don't know why De Ligt ran forward like that. I was double tapping L1 for Dallo to make the run, but I think it may have locked onto the centre back. But either way, he provided the corridor run. Oh, it doesn't even show it. Let's show it here. Let's do EA's job for them. This ball was great. I said I was pointing the analog stick at Dallo there, and then I think it just locked onto De Ligt, and he was like, "Don't worry, boss, I got this." And then I was trying to pass it to Xerxes. Ends up locking onto De Ligt, and De Ligt's overload leads to a great goal. That is poetry at its finest. Now, we also are going to make a change. We're going to bring on Ugarte for Kobe, but we're going to leave it, which is a bit of a risk. We're going to leave it as is. I need more attacking intent because I want to win this game. I don't want to just sit back now with a 2-2 draw. I want to try and win the game. So Ugarte is going to be playing as a deep-lying, roaming defensive midfielder. Crazy. 84th minute, we scored the equalizer. Of course, it had to be Benjamin Sesko. Oh, Bruno, he's won the ball back. Sesko, he's told Sesko, make that run, bud. Oh, no! Oh, they've brought on Martinelli. If I had to lose this game because of Martinelli's fucking pace, little meep speed merchant, bro. Anyways, that is the game. It ends 2-2, and Arsenal fans are back to not enjoying the season because it's getting closer to us finishing the season undefeated and maybe getting a gold trophy. It would be cool if, honestly, it would be cool if EA incorporated like a little golden trophy. Like, that would be really sick. But so far, we've dropped points on 3 different occasions. 2 of those occasions to the mighty Ars. So give them credit where it's due. It was a good game, but it's still 2-2. So we have gotten an offer for one of our young players, Saeed El Basir. Now, like I mentioned, we've just got back Amas, and also the likes of Mbumo, Ahmad, and Mazraoui are set to come back relatively soon. So accepting an offer like this isn't that bad. Obviously, he can decline it. He might still decline it and stay at United, because I don't know if he'd want to go play in the MLS at, how old is he? 17. So it might still be declined, but I'm not opposed to making a deal like this sort of happen. So, for our last game of the episode, I think this is episode number 6. I do hope you guys have enjoyed it. Now, if you don't mind, if you haven't already, click the like button, subscribe if you are new, and I do hope you have enjoyed the content so far. Now, the last game is against Fulham. We are going to simulate this game. Fulham are currently sitting in 16th position, and out of the last 5 games, they've lost 2, won 2, and drawn 1. Bag of mixed results, but they are steadily improving to try and get away from the relegation zone. So, a point or 3 points versus United would go a very long way, and they do have quality players. Chukwueze is outrageous with his pace, and he is their key attacking player to look out for. Sander Berge, Anderson and Bassey, or Bassey, however you pronounce it, all very good quality players. Now, I would probably say Sander Berge would be a key attacking player as well, because he runs their midfield. Very good at doing so, by the way. Man United should have probably bought him instead of Ugarte 2 years ago. Neither here nor there. But their tactical preset is going to be set to counter-attack. So they are going to sit back and they're going to use the pace and the ball-carrying abilities of Iwobi down the left, Smith Rowe through the middle, and the pace of Chukwueze down that right-hand side, along with whoever they deploy up front. And of course, they also have Adama Traore. So that's another pace merchant that we have to watch out for. As for our squad, I'm not going to change anything. I want to try and go as full strength as possible and try and get this win. Please tell me we don't lose. We draw. 87th minutes again. What is up with the 87th minute and us scoring a goal? Like, it's been who? Martinez? It's been Sesko? It's been Xerxes? Not the greatest of displays. Back-to-back draws. Back-to-back games drop points. Yeah, back-to-back games that we've dropped points in the Premier League. Not the best way to end off the episode. But it's one of those, you know? A 1-1 draw. I can't fault them. The Arsenal fans, the streak continues. We're getting closer to it, and I'm loving it. Yeah, but I don't want to get into the mindset, by the way, of just don't lose. I want to win games. So if we're trying to win games and we end up losing, so be it. But it would be kind of cool, though. Okay, so Lenny Yoro, obviously he's had that injury, and the last few games he's been pressurizing me to try and play him, and I've not succumbed to the pressure because I trust my medical staff. They are in charge, and he's saying that he's been very disappointed that he hasn't gotten games. You will get games, Lenny. It's a long season. There's lots of games coming up. I mean, we've got the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup still to play. We've got a lot of games in the Prem, plus we've got the FA Cup games. There will be games. Don't you worry, good sir. To end off this episode, I am going to simulate deadline day. I have no intentions of making any signings, and I don't care for the other teams that do, but that is that, guys. I hope you have enjoyed it. Smash the like button down below, subscribe if you are new, and I will see you the next time for the next episode of the Manchester United Tactical Career Mode. Anyways, enjoy your day. Peace.